Happy Friday the 13th. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Man, what a big weekend this is for just Tennessee's main three men's sports in recruiting. Tennessee football, Tennessee basketball, Tennessee baseball. There's a lot going on the recruiting trail for all three teams this weekend. I'm going to focus more on basketball in this video, though. But before we get any further, make sure you hit that thumbs up. There are, as you see across the bottom, the membership tiers, the Patreon. There's links in the description of the channel. But the biggest way you can help me is to share out the content. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and make sure you got your notifications turned on as well. I know YouTube, there's some things happens a little wonky. Sometimes it turns them off, but make sure there's notifications on. That way you get notifications for any content, any live shows as well. And let's roll that. I was going to do Evolution of the Vols defense part 4 today. I've been releasing them late, man. They've not been doing well. But I know it's probably more the time I'm releasing them than anything. I'm going to do that. Plan on doing that on Sunday instead of today. I'm hoping that can pick up a little bit this weekend. So check those out. I've done 3 parts on it. I feel like it's some pretty good work that are put in on that. But let's get into Tennessee basketball. In what is a vital, huge recruiting year for Tennessee basketball, 2 top 20 prospects, top 22, depending on the site that you're looking at. 2, we'll say top 25 prospects are slated to be in town this weekend for official visits. Chris Senack, I did a video on this, I think it was last week, or it was within the last 2 weeks, about a week and a half ago, around September 3rd and 4th. Chris Senack, depending on the site that you look at, according to On3, he's ranked the number 5 overall player in the nation, number 1 in the state of Missouri, number 2 power forward. According to 24/7, he's ranked number 10 in the nation. 6'10", 210. He's originally out of New Orleans, Louisiana. He plays at Link Academy. So if that sounds familiar to you, it's because it is, because Cam Carr, Cade Phillips both came from Link Academy. So I think it's Rod Clark that has a connection there. Hopefully that one will pay off. And I was reading a little bit today on that. This was first reported by Grant Ramey on volquest.com. Ben McKee 24/7 posted about the visits as well. But from what I've seen on this, Tennessee has a chance. They have a legit chance with Senack. He's the main one this weekend. And then the second visitor that they have this weekend is Darius Adams, 6'4". He is a shooting guard. According to On3, he's the number 20 overall player in the nation for 2025, number 6 shooting guard, number 2 in the state of Indiana. And Tennessee seems to be hitting that state of Indiana pretty hard here as well. Braylon Mullins is another guy slated to visit. I'm thinking it's next month, Florida weekend. I'd have to go back and double check on that. Adams has been on official to North Carolina State. He's coming to Tennessee. He also has visits to Alabama, Michigan State, UConn, and Notre Dame. Pretty interesting to me. No Indiana, no Purdue mentioned in that one. And from what I've seen, Tennessee's really made him a priority in this cycle. Tennessee may have a good shot at this one. But when you're going up against the elite schools, I mean, it's never easy, and you're going to have to pull out all the stops that you have to get a prospect like that on campus. According to 24/7 Sports, Darius Adams is ranked as he's 6'5" on 24/7, number 3 player in Indiana, number 22 overall. And again, Alabama, UConn, Michigan State, Notre Dame, that's where he goes next. Chris Senack, on the other hand, had released a top 12. He's been to, from what I've seen, Houston and LSU so far. You got to think both these guys, I mean, what Tennessee's going to have to do, if you're able to get these guys, you're going to have to legitimately get them in here and get lottery picks out of them. They've had, of course, Kennedy Chandler, 5-star, Keon Johnson, Jaden Springer, Phillips a couple years ago, Julian Phillips a couple years ago. All these guys, highly touted 5 stars, come in, None of them left lottery picks. Springer and Keon Johnson were first-round picks. Kennedy Chandler, second round, been bouncing around. Julian Phillips with the Chicago Bulls. For Tennessee to get those guys, they're going to have to get them in, get them developed and out in 1 year and be a lottery pick. And I think that's a big thing for Tennessee. And I talked about earlier, this is a vital recruiting year. They're going to have 8 scholarships available after this year. All of your transfers coming in will be gone after this year, with the exception of Felix Okpara. Jemai Mashak, gone. Zakai Ziegler, gone. Jordan Gainey, gone. That's 6, plus they have 2 open scholarships right now. I don't know if they use all of them next year, but you need to build this class coming up through your high school ranks and the portal. They're going to have to hit both of them with all that they're going to need. And they're going to need point guards as well. But I don't know that there's a position on the team that they're not going to need help at. Next year, they're going to have Okpara, JP Estrella, Cade Phillips back. I think there's a possibility Cam Carr is back. I know he's been listed as a possible lottery pick. So, if he blows up, he could be gone. Rod Clark kind of pumped the brakes on that one this year. I don't know how big of a factor Cam Carr is in this rotation. He'll play in it. Don't get me wrong. But who's he going to take minutes from as well? Is it Mashak? Is it Dubar? Is it, who is it? I just don't know. I think it's a break pumper with him, but the potential's there. There's a lot talked about with Cam Carr. So if he has a big year, who knows? If his stock's high, while your stock's high, you got to go, because it's become a thing, especially in basketball and baseball. The older you get, the pros aren't as high on. We saw it with Dalton Knecht. He dropped all the way to the Lakers in this past NBA draft. He was a top 10 pick easily. Speaking of Dalton Knecht, my title on this, I had a little under subheading in it. An old friend returns from the lake. Dalton Knecht, saw a picture today, is in town. He was lacing up the shoes, so he must be coming in to go at it with some guys down in Knoxville. It would be a lot of fun to watch. I saw Jimmy Dykes. He must be down there watching. Jimmy Dykes has got I think it's a daughter. Is it cheerleading or dance team or something? So I love Jimmy Dykes. Now he seems kind of pretty pro Tennessee. That helps out a whole lot. But Dykes was in town, had a photo with him today. So I'm assuming Jimmy Dykes was down watching it. Dalton Knecht's in town doing his thing. It's a great weekend for it. You got seen it. You got 2 top 20 prospects in town. You're bringing, to me, who will be your most successful pro. And I think Dalton Knecht, people are talking about the Lakers this year. They didn't add enough. They're underestimating what the Lakers added in Dalton Knecht. I think he can be an instant impact guy. I'm not saying all NBA. I'm not saying an all-star or anything like that, but I think he plays a vital role for the Lakers. But, Tennessee's had some visits before this. Amari Evans is one that I've seen that Tennessee seems to be in good shape. There was another one that slips my mind off top. I'd have to go back and look at it. But this is a big, big recruiting cycle for Rick Barnes and this staff. The last couple cycles, they've more hit, especially last year. They brought in Bishop Boswell. They went portal after that. You're going to have to go portal heavy this coming off season. You're going to have to bring in some elite players as well. They're still trying with Caleb Wilson. I've seen he's got a visit scheduled for October, according to 24/7. But I've also seen other saying that Tennessee's still trying to get a visit. So I'm not sure which one is accurate on that. But I'll keep you updated on that as news is out there. I mean, these sites, they're getting this recruiting news. For the most part, it's them getting it. I'm not an inside guy to get it. I do try to cite where it comes from. I do try to pass that along as well. Baseball's got a big recruiting weekend. I think I saw 8 prospects in town, according to Ben McKee, 24/7. He's been on it. I'll give him credit. He's been on the baseball stuff, and he's amped up his recruiting with it as well. Hats off to him for what he's doing. And football has a huge weekend. A lot of 2026 guys and a lot of 2025 commitments, current commitments in town. It's a huge weekend. Even though it's Kent State, it's still a big weekend for Tennessee athletics. I cannot wait to see what they do in October in all these sports. With all these 3 sports, plus the Lady Vols as well. They've got some visits lined up then as well. I'm going to wrap up on that one Guys, I hope you have a great Friday the 13th. Such a cool day. I love Friday the 13th. But have a great evening. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Last but most certainly not least, go Vols.